big man.
You know, when you have the privilege of watching Steph for 11 plus years, like I have, you get used to this. And he's the reason this whole thing has happened. You know, he's our Tim Duncan. You know, he's the sun, you know, in our solar system.
Sun, there you go. Steph Curry, proven once again, age ain't nothing but a number on Wednesday night. His 12 40-point game since turning 35, tying Michael Jordan for the second most in NBA history. Curry trails only LeBron, 15.
Back with Perk here on SportsCenter. Just a few nights ago, Perk, we were talking about Draymond Green calling out his team for the personal agendas that they had on the court on a nightly basis. So what was Steph's agenda when he dropped that 46-piece all flats? Your words, not mine.
Habanero style. He was desperate. They were desperate. The Warriors were desperate, especially after being embarrassed last night in Oklahoma City. Steph had it on his mind to go out there and set the tone and get back to playing Warrior basketball. And with him and Draymond and Jimmy Butler showed the young guys on this team is that it's still our team. So a message was sent to Bajemski. A message was sent to Jonathan Kuminga that we have a way, we have a formula, we play agenda-free basketball, and this is how we're going to play it. Think about this for a second. The Spurs had two players that had triple-doubles tonight, and they lost. Triple-doubles, and they lost. Behind the heroics of Steph, Jimmy chipped in 28 points, but again, the Warriors needed this win. They needed to find their identity. They approached this game as if it was a playoff game, and you could tell by their energy and tenacity, and they came out victorious.
Yeah, you can make all the old head jokes you want to regarding that Warriors roster, but a veteran presence really does mean a lot, especially when you got a bunch of young cats running out there on the court with them. Perk, we appreciate you as always, player.
Appreciate it.
To update you on as well, specifically regarding Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets taking on the Clippers. First quarter on the fast break, Christian Brown finding Jokic, running. Nuggets within one, under 4 minutes left in the first. Jokic, jumper, good, plus the foul. That would give the Nuggets a 2-point lead. Under 2 minutes remaining in the quarter. Brown once again finding Jokic. The big fella is hot. Feed him. Under a minute left in the quarter. Jokic again from Brown. That three ball helps him get 25 points in the first quarter, most by a Nuggets player in a quarter since Carmelo had 33 in 2008. Under 5 minutes left in the third. Nuggets up 14. Jokic with the steal. And then finishes on the other end on the lay-in. 44 points at that point. Next Nuggets possession. Jokic blowing by the defense. What's the big fella? Nuggets up 16 there. Jokic once again working from the low post. Turnaround fadeaway is money. And then in the paint once again. Spin move. Floater. Proper. 52 points through 3 quarters. Fourth career 50-point game. That's the most in Denver history. Nuggets up 16 after 3. In the fourth and final frame, Jokic comes in halfway through the fourth. Brown misses the lay-in, and Jokic is there to clean things up. 55 points to finish the evening, 130 to 116. Your final.
5, 12, and 6. We got to welcome in ESPN NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins on this one. Another masterful night by the 3-time MVP. Like Trevor said, fourth career 50-point game, 50, 10, and 5 at the end of 3 quarters. What do you make of this performance?
Did you see how mad Steve Ballmer was on the sideline? That was the first. That was the first thing. But look, Jokic is leading the league in assists. Tonight, this matchup was personal, and he made Zubac and the Clippers smell his cologne. Came out aggressive from the jump, and he just flat out dominated and showed us why he's the most skilled center to ever play the game of basketball and a top 5 center to ever play the game of basketball. What he did all across the board, inside out, showing the complete package, showing the 3-point range, inside work on the low block. When I look at Jokic and what he's doing right now, I have never witnessed a guy, a center, with this size, lack of athleticism, dominate the way that he's dominating in this fashion. Again, his motto this season has been let shot attempts get others involved. Tonight, it was personal against Big Zubac.
It was personal, and when it's personal, it looks like that. Clippers, you know now. All right, Perk, hang out. We got to get you for this.
It was all led by the chef, Stephen Curry, 46 big points, 15 of 16 from the free throw line, 5 made threes, and the Warriors feel good about themselves with a monster win in San Antonio, handing the Spurs their first home loss of the season, and withstanding 2 triple-doubles from the San Antonio sideline, Victor Wembanyama, and of course, Stephon Castle. But we're jacked up here on Toyota Warriors post-game live as the Warriors rally through against San Antonio. Timely threes in the fourth quarter. Fezzi can't wait to talk about it. He's an NBA champion. Fez Azili. I am Vontae Hill.
I did my part. Okay?
You did your part.
Steve Kerr said he wanted to switch things up today, and I switched things up. I got the leather pants on. I'm doing all sorts of stuff over here on the show, just to bring some energy to the show today, so they can bring some energy to the game tonight. What you think, Vontae?
I don't know if Kerr wanted you to bring leather pants. He wanted the energy, but you know what? Steph would improve, right? Because he was balling tonight. Jimmy Butler came along for the ride. Draymond Green's defense on Victor Wembanyama, and of course, the veterans showed up. They set the tone. Moody had a big first half, and the Warriors, they could feel good about themselves improving to 7-6.
Lost 6 games in a row coming into tonight. You need to get a winner. Who do you lean on? You lean on your veterans. You lean on Steph Curry. You lean on Draymond Green's defense. Jimmy Butler came through, was getting some points in the paint. Hit a bunch of threes tonight. What about Jimmy? 5 for 7 from the three-point line. All those buckets were huge. But I want to say, Steve Kerr started a different lineup today. Moses Moody did a great job of spacing the floor. His three-pointers in the first half actually gave the Warriors a lot of life, kept them in the game. Victor Wembanyama is a force of nature. Defensively, he made the Warriors scared to touch the paint. And things did not change until Steph Curry started to attack, and then the offense opened up for the Warriors there in the third and fourth quarters.
Yeah, Moses Moody, 19 points in the start, 5 of 10 from the three-point line. Well, Richard had a timely 3 in the fourth quarter, which ironically came on his first shot of the basketball game, but it was all about the chef, because in his previous 6 games, he was struggling. Remember, he missed 3 consecutive games due to general illness, but you see the percentages right there. 39% from the floor, 33% from the three-point line, and tonight he started off slowly. You just heard him with Fitchibuki, kind of had to gather himself late in the second quarter, and then he erupted, especially in the third quarter with 22 points to give the Warriors the lead. 46 big ones. Again, we're going to go through all the graphics, the historical aspect of this basketball game, but Steph, he almost willed the Warriors back into this basketball game, and next thing you know, they still won their 73rd career game with 40-plus points, Fezzi.
This was a classic David versus Goliath match. Steph, 5 for 16 from the three-point line. That means, Vontae, if I'm doing the math correctly, that means he was 8 for 9 going into the paint tonight from the two-point range. You see him right there against Luke Cornett. He was hunting mismatches, coming off of the pick and roll, trying to get to the cup, get those easy ones, get those free throws so the Warriors can set the defense on the other end. Steph was magical there in the third quarter. 22 points. Man, they needed every one of those tonight, Vontae.
They certainly did. His 43rd 20-point quarter, of course. That leads the NBA. But you see this graphic right here. Most 40-point games after turning the age of 30. Well, they always say Steph is aging like a fine wine. Whenever you're in company with Kobe Bryant, James Harden, Larry Bird, and Michael Jeffrey Jordan, you're doing something good.
And shout out to Dame Lillard on this list, too. Get well soon, brother. But Steph Curry just continues to wow us. I said before the game, Steph is the reason why those arenas are full. And you see all the fans, everybody's excited to see him. He put on a show tonight for sure.
He's 23rd all-time on the NBA scoring list, passing the great Alex English. I don't know if you knew this, Fezzi, but Alex English led the NBA in scoring in the 80s.
Wow.
In an era with Patrick Ewing, Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Alex English is the leader there. So shout out Alex English. Wow. Stephen Curry's just moving up that ladder.
I mean, every night you see something different. You know, tonight was a game where you needed Steph. You needed that veteran leadership. You needed him to come into the game. And after last night, where he came into the game, it was his first game. He was sick, still trying to get into the condition. Tonight, you saw a different Steph. He was going to will this team to win no matter what. And you saw him coming off of screens. You saw him running, back cutting. Even his cuts and his gravity made guys jump. And GP2 got a couple layups. Jimmy Butler got a couple layups. Guys were getting threes off of that gravity. You have to hit those threes. And because of Steph, because he's getting that attention, all those guys, the Moses Moody's, the Al Horfords, the Will Richards, hitting those threes now makes the Warriors offense work. So you got to give a credit to the whole team.
Stephon Castle was all over him, especially in that first half. Of Stephen Curry made him work, got into foul trouble, and then you get to the third quarter where he let out a big boom after making a three-point shot, because you know what? It was his 43rd quarter with at least 20-plus points. He's dusting Kobe Bryant. He's dusting James Harden, Devin Booker, Dame Lillard. Look at that company right there, 43 20-point quarters. I mean, that is insane, Fezzi.
I mean, you have to think that a lot of these are also coming in playoff situations, tough situations, trying to bring his team back situations. Just elite company right there. Steph he has been the guy to lead this franchise. We've talked so much about this being 16 years since the Warriors franchise was bought by Joe Lacob and Peter Guber. But Steph is the foundation this whole company has been built on. And it's somebody who I hope we continue to see this for a long time more, Bonte.
9 of 9 from the free throw line in that third quarter, 5 of 7 from the floor, 3 of 5 for the three-point line, and it was good to see it because he had been struggling with his shot. He looked a little sick yesterday, had a rough go in OKC, going 4-13 from the floor after making his first 3 shots. He plays up on the back end of a back-to-back. He'll get a day off, but he turned back the clock tonight.
No, it's really interesting. Coming back, your legs are the last thing to come. When you get into the game after being off for a little while, especially with an illness, your conditioning is not the same. You have not been playing basketball, and you can't get in basketball shape unless you're on the floor. It says a lot about Steph coming back last night, and then tonight on a back-to-back, after being ill, still being able to will this team to win. How many minutes did he play tonight, Bonte?
He played 33 minutes.
33 minutes. I mean, everything that you wanted tonight, whether it was the three-point line, whether it was getting to the cup, he was running off of screens and getting those off-ball actions. I thought Steph did play a beautiful game, but I thought even more he brought the mojo back to the team. That's the confidence that you instill in your team when you play like this.
Well, thinking about the adjustment tonight, the 3 ball wasn't falling. Kind of like that Portland game when he said, I'm back. Remember game 4 up in Portland back in 2016? He took his game inside the three-point line, got a couple bank jump shots there from 15, 18 feet, and that got his game rolling.
That's even more important because the San Antonio Spurs, they have a